Former president's Mar-a-Lago residence saw yet another controversial character gain up-close personal access to him this week. This time it was Liz Crokin, a prominent QAnon conspiracy spreader who posed with him, even got a big thumbs up from him. Before Thanksgiving, of course, the former president ate at his private club with Kanye West, who's been making a slew of anti-Semitic statements, as well as a well-known white supremacist, Nick Fuentes. Now, that raised a lot of questions about who gets cleared for entry, let alone who's granted extremely close access to Trump, which brings me to someone else spotted at Mar-a-Lago multiple times last year, an alleged fake heiress who claimed to be from the Rothschild family and is now under investigation by the FBI. Randy Kay has new developments tonight.
She very clearly introduced herself as Anna Rothschild, and she kind of maintained that she was part of the family.
He's talking about this woman, whom he thought was Anna de Rothschild. John Lefebvre, an investment banker and guest at Mar-a-Lago, says he met her at the club last year, just before Mother's Day. He says she passed herself off as a member of the Rothschild family's banking dynasty and called it a near-perfect ruse.
She talked about growing up in Monte Carlo. She talked about her grandparents' house in West Palm Beach. She talked about family investments in the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas.
The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project were first to report the woman's alleged caper at Mar-a-Lago, which former President Trump calls home. They say she visited there at least 5 times last year. And new reporting by the Gazette and OCCRP has revealed possible ties to a Russian gang enterprise with a history of money laundering. This is video they obtained of her driving up to the Mar-a-Lago club's front doors.
She's wearing designer clothes. She's got the gold Rolex watches. She's wearing Van Cleef & Arpels, bracelets.
The Post-Gazette and OCCRP reported that numerous records have been turned over to the FBI as part of the investigation. These are just some of the fake IDs those media outlets say the 33-year-old woman was allegedly using. 2 fake passports, one from the U.S. and one from Canada, and a Florida driver's license that uses the home address of an $18 million mansion in Miami Beach, where the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette says she has never lived. Look closely. The name on all of them is Anna de Rothschild, but that woman is not Anna de Rothschild. Her real name is Inna Yashchyshyn.
She's driving a brand new Mercedes G-Wagon, $170,000, and she has transformed herself into Anna de Rothschild.
We used her real identity, Inna Yashchyshyn, to track down her lawyer. She declined our request for an on-camera interview, but through her lawyer told us she had only come here to the Mar-a-Lago club once on May 1st, 2021. When asked if she claimed to be a Rothschild, she said she had never used that name inside Mar-a-Lago and never held herself out as that.
That is, categorically false. And I can say that definitively, she presented herself as a Rothschild. In fact, she said she was going to her grandparents' house the evening before we played golf to pick up her golf clubs.
Those golf clubs were used to play at nearby Trump International Golf Course the day after John Lefebvre says he met her at Mar-a-Lago. This picture, first obtained by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, shows Inna, or Anna, posing for photos with both Donald Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham, who were at the course holding a fundraiser for the midterm elections.
Her interaction with Trump, was 5 seconds at most. She was very good at acting like she had been in those types of situations before, so she was not starstruck.
In this video obtained from the Post-Gazette, you can hear a guest off camera joking with her that she could afford to pay $1 million for a photo with Trump.
Anna, you're Rothschild. You could afford $1 million for the picture of you and Trump.
Notice she made no attempt to correct him. Her lawyer told us she was in a location where people thought she had money and that no one would be so quick to correct them. Another video from that same day, shared with us by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, shows her at an event at the golf club where she sat just feet away from Trump, who was at the podium. After that golf tournament on May 2nd, 2021, the woman allegedly posing as Anna de Rothschild went out for dinner with a group of Trump supporters. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette shared this photo with CNN. That's her in the back, standing behind Don Jr.'s fiancée, Kimberly Guilfoyle. The man standing all the way to the left is John Lefebvre, who told me he first met the woman at the Mar-a-Lago pool. And the woman's lawyer also confirmed she attended a fundraiser for former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens during the same week. It was held at a Palm Beach mansion owned by Trump. We reached out to Trump, Eric Greitens, and Lindsey Graham for comment, but they didn't respond. The FBI also declined to comment. But the woman's visit to Mar-a-Lago does raise all kinds of questions about security, given the club is also the former president's home, where classified documents were discovered in his possession back in August.
I was surprised at how little there is in terms of real bona fide checking of who comes in and out of Mar-a-Lago. Mr. Trump is no longer the president, but he is a man who's running for president, and he has all top leaders from all walks of life.
Former Secret Service agent John Wackrow told me security at Mar-a-Lago likely didn't do a background check on the woman, and that there are different security levels for the Mar-a-Lago club versus the former president's residence. The U.S. Secret Service referred us back to Mar-a-Lago. So who is the real Anna de Rothschild? How did she get past security? And what was she doing at Mar-a-Lago?
If she's not the woman that she says she was, what were you able to learn about her?
She was born in a small town in Ukraine, poor. She came over here with her family, an immigrant family, first generation. Her father's a truck driver in suburban Chicago. Her mother cleaned doctor's offices.
The woman's lawyer, Andrew Smallman, tried to set the record straight. He told me the only time his client went through the security gate at Mar-a-Lago was on May 1st last year, and that she didn't show any ID. On May 2nd, he confirmed she was at the Beach Hotel across the street, and on May 9th at the fundraiser for Governor Eric Greitens. He told me she is not a spy. He painted his client, Inna Yashchyshyn, as an abused woman who is being set up by a man she filed a restraining order against. Her lawyer said the passports with her photo aren't real, they're PDFs, and that someone created them with her picture on them. The woman's lawyer says she is cooperating with the FBI, but would not comment on the investigation.
And Randy joins me now from Palm Beach County. So what are they actually investigating? I mean, where does the investigation stand now?
Well, Anderson, the FBI is still apparently investigating. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporter told me that he's spoken with at least 5 people who told him that they were interviewed by the FBI. I reached out to Secret Service. They didn't have much to say, but they had issued a statement to CNN saying in part that they provide the highest levels of personal safety and security. They also noted in that statement that the Mar-a-Lago club is separate from, it's a private club, and it's separate from Trump's residence, of course, and they directed us to the organizers at the club to ask about access in terms of who gets in to that club. But no question, Anderson, security is a challenge there, given that it's a private club and Trump's residence as well. But if you look at this woman, she was able to go there and just breeze right past security, no questions asked. She didn't show an ID, according to her lawyer. And that raises a lot of questions, of course, because, you know, at this time, there were those classified documents in Trump's possession at Mar-a-Lago in his personal residence. So certainly a lot of people wondering who gets in and who gets access, and it's a real concern, Anderson.
Yeah, Randy Kay, I appreciate it. Thank you.